It's a beautiful day in the neighborhood. A beautiful day in the neighborhood. Story time. It's story time. Oh, shit. We're back again with some more insanity and a little more to the story entitled What Lies Inside. It's a great story so far. We've been introduced to multiple characters. We're starting to get into these characters. We're starting to get into the plot. Our speculation brains are starting to turn. They're starting to work. And our story is almost over. We're headed down the road to what they call the end game. How it ends, we don't know. But we got a good idea, probably after I read this part, of what's getting ready to happen and where our protagonists lie in this story. I can honestly say this reading has so much information involved in it. A lot of info was given in this next part that I'm about to read. Oh, excuse me. It's about to get into it. Like I said, it's about to get nasty. It's about to get grimy and very interesting. With that being said, and we'll discuss afterwards just a hair, let's get down to business. Excuse me. The continuation of part 3 of What Lies Inside. Garrett arrives at the sheriff's department. On his desk lies a file. He opens and begins to read. After a couple of hours pass, he starts to make sense of the whole murder investigation. Says out loud to himself, "Fatal Attraction." It all makes perfect sense now. Front desk, he radios in. "Get me the number to the Bridgemont Psychiatric Hospital." The number is retrieved. He dials and asks for Dr. Matthews. After accepting a visit from the sheriff for questioning, Matthews prepares himself for the visit. The sheriff arrives at the hospital. Entering, he's greeted by staff and Dr. Matthews. "Sheriff, my office is this way down the hall. I see you're curious about the Norway murder in Bridgemont." "Yes, I am, and any info you have pertaining to that case will be just fine." Make sure I didn't skip a page here. "Officer, the only thing here I know of is people, patience. But we treated a man who they say was possibly the killer, which was never charged. The case was labeled suicide." Well, Doc, if labeled suicide, why are they claiming murder? Because the boyfriend confessed to being the killer. Autopsy states different, and the timestamps of such a tragic event doesn't add up. If you want my honest opinion on this, it seems like a third party involvement. I'm not for certain. Well, Doc, I excuse me. Well, Doc, I believe it's fatal attraction. A sexual encounter took place and someone's mental state couldn't handle being number two. It's funny you said that, because after they brought Mr. Connor in, 48 hours later, a woman was placed in our care. Samantha Dennis, she went by Sam, was her name, took a liking to Mr. Connor, almost as if she knew him outside these walls. But the victim's name was Sarah Coombs. Doctor, thank you for your time. I'll make a note of that and add it to the case. Back in Bridgemont, Luke and Stanley find an Airbnb in town to rest up and take some time off. Stanley begins to have weird feeling about the trip. Luke turns on the TV and sees the murder scene and police on the news. Stanley lets Luke know that his feelings were correct. Noticing Layla called, he doesn't attempt to call back. Out his mouth, he says, Sarah. Luke wanting to visit Sarah. Stanley lets him know that Sarah has been dead for 8 years and proceeds to tell him, Sir, you was committed and prime suspect in the case but never charged due to it being a suicide. But Stanley, how come I don't remember? The treatments and meds helped you to forget. I offered you the ownership of my gallery to relocate you away from this madness. But what was once lost has come back, like a haunting or unfinished business. Driving around town and in neighborhoods, Layla spots Luke's car, turning off her lights and backs into an empty home driveway, just watching, waiting. The sinister urge is building up inside. Sweet and innocent is fading. Something vile and wicked is setting into place. And that is the ending of part 3 of What Lies Inside. We've got one more part, people. Just one more. And that is the end game. The what they call finale. We're going to write it all down. In the next part, we're going to finish it off, which will be part 4, the finale. It's coming. I'll have to buy a brand new notebook to finish that part because this one is officially filled up. But we got 3 parts to the second story in there. And I just finished reading out loud the rest of part 3, which we have learned a lot. We've learned a lot to the backstory. We've learned that there's a possible fatal attraction vibe going here. And we also was introduced to another character, which unfortunately we don't get to explore because she didn't make it. But we do learn something about Luke. He was in a relationship. Married? Nah. Well, I don't know. I don't think so. He could have been. He could have been. I'm gonna say he was just probably in a strong relationship with the person, but did they live together? I don't know. We'll find that out in the finale. All the info we've collected so far from parts 1, 2, and 3 will all come together, like I said, like a puzzle. It's being pieced together and will be explained in the end game. But for my favorite character out of the whole story, Stanley, I don't know, Stanley. I like you and all, but I feel I'm worried about him. I'm worried about him. But like I said, in the last video, Stanley is loyal to Luke. He's good with information, and now he is finally breaking silence because Stanley knows everything. Stanley is the previous owner of the gallery. Like I said, Stanley is his limo driver. Basically, he's just his driver, kind of like Alfred to Bruce Wayne. Stanley's been around. Has he been around since the beginning? Only the finale will explain everything, and I really can't give it away. But we've got a lot of info to examine, and we have also learned that there might be a slight case of identity theft. But like I said, all will come to play in the end. It'll be pieced together, and it'll make more sense. But Layla, on the other hand, is starting to slip. It's almost like she's not not so innocent, not so sweet. And the dark side, she has joined the dark side, the Empire. But I can't give you too much because I want to keep you coming back. You got to come back for the finale. You have to, because we've heard all this. Let's see how it ends. Let's see it all pieced together. All will be explained and discussed at the end of the reading. So that's all I can say. That was the ending of part 3. I know it was short, but hey, we're going to work on the finale. The finale is going to be pretty, not long, but it's going to be a little bit longer than this. If you like this video, hit that thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed and you are new to this channel, you've got options. You can subscribe or you don't have to. It's all your option. Like, share, subscribe, comment. Any speculations, leave them in the comment and I will reply. Other than that, we've got a finale to write and piece things together. Hope to see everybody back for the finale. And for those who haven't heard the ending of part 3, the video will be up for you to go back and be part of the replay gang. Until next time, until the finale of What Lies Inside, I'll holler at you.